Hello and welcome to this final part of this CCP election. Now is the analysis, and it's the war is over. Bar the shouting and the press conference, which is going to be happening in the BJP office, BJP in and outside the office. In fact, the assembly also has been adjourned for today, and the chief minister will be there, joining in the celebrations as the BJP backed Babush Montserrat, Rohit Montserrat led panel has retained the CCP, retained the Corporation of Panjim, and in what a way. It was amazing. It's put a lot of predictions. It was 50-50 predictions. Some people were saying that the Babush would repeat, and this time backed by the BJP openly, would repeat its last time's victory. In fact, it's bettered it. Some were saying it would be a tougher fight. Looking at the ground, sitting in AC offices like me, I thought we would get around 10, but I sat in my AC office and made these predictions, which were absolutely wrong. It was a decimation of the opposition-led panel, which the media had hyped as Utpal Parikar-led panel, which I don't know what this is going to do to the career of the late Manohar Parikar's son Utpal Parikar, but it was a complete decimation, and not even most of the seats, most of the contests were not even close. So anyway, to discuss this, to analyze it threadbare, as is our font, I would like to introduce my panel, starting off with Viraj Naik, cephalogist and today analyst, Francis Coelho, very much part of this team, and probably one person whose friend has won, one of the very few who has won from this panel. Francis Bab, welcome to our show. And Ramabab Kankonkar, politician, activist, analyst, whatever you want to call him, leader of his community. Yeah, Ramabab, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Now, Viraj, what's the scene? Any positives from this, negatives, status quo, aura still stand, the lion is still very much alive? What is the scene? What can you say today?
Let's start with the results first. So Babush led BJP has won 27 out of 30. Ami Ponjekar panel led supported by Utpal Parikar and Dattaprasad Naik has won 3 seats. The three seats that they won are Ward number 7, Furtado Leonid, who is son of Suren Furtado. He won by 68 votes. Ward number 17 goes to Jack Sukija. He won with a margin of 2 votes. And Liberata Mendes has won in Ward number 29 with a margin of 31 votes. If you look at the other prominent candidates, Rohit Montserrat, the current chief, has won from Ward number 4, chairperson. Carolina Poe, another senior councillor, she's been there for quite some time, has won from Ward number 2. Sheetal Naik, wife of Dattaprasad Naik, has lost from Ward number 6. Similarly, Suren Furtado has lost from Ward number 9. He got 404 votes, whereas his opponent Philip Kabir Pinto Makija got 519 votes. Uday Madkekar has won from Ward number 13. He is a former mayor. So if you look at the victory margins, Ami Ponjekar has won 3, but in one seat it is just a margin of 2 votes, and the other are 30 and 60, which is decent enough. Now 27 out of 30 is something which was not expected. Babush has been strong in CCP for a very long time. Even when Manohar Parikar was the chief minister and Babush was in the opposition, the CCP was always with Babush. So it's not surprising that he has got a majority. Babush plus BJP, I think, has added to his tally. Having said that, 27 was not expected. 24 last time, I think they got 25. So probably something close to that, slightly lesser than that was expected, but a massive victory, big landslide. As far as the opposition is concerned, I think it's not a very good sign for Utpal Parikar, because he had come close in the last assembly election, and someone who comes close, you expect the tally in the local election to increase. Of course, you can't better the ruling party, because usually the local polls go in line with the ruling party and the current dispensation. Having said that, this kind of a landslide victory is definitely not good for him and also for Datta Prasad Naik in Talega. His own wife lost. At least she should have won.
At least that shit should have
that
come.
consolidation prize he would have got, but unfortunately that has not happened. So not a very good day for both of them. As far as Babush is concerned, I mean, it couldn't have been any better, considering last time assembly election his margin was low, and probably he was saying that the BJP loyal voters had not voted for him. It's his personal voters that got him through. So even if BJP voters add to his personal voters, then it becomes much more comfortable for him.
Yeah, thanks, Viraj. Francis, what is it? You were closely involved with the election. So what does this tell you?
So, firstly, what it tells me is the first 6 wards are completely in Talegaon. Then
9, no?
Yeah, no, 7, 8, right? And 9 are again outside. 7, 8, 9, 10 are Kampal, Panjim, all of that.
Okay.
Then 11 is again Talegaon. 11 is next to Santinez. 12 is again completely Talegaon. And 13 is Talegaon again, which is Batlem. Okay. So, if you look at these results in 11, 12 and 13, right, and you look at 1 to 6, these 9 wards are completely Talegaon. Other wards have little Talegaon in it. So, I am studying these wards very carefully. It's very clear from these wards that we have done better. The opposition in Talegaon has done better than the opposition in Panjim. That is evidently clear, because the margins that they have won with in Talegaon are much lower. The BJP panel has won with lower margins in Talegaon and higher margins in Panjim when we study this thing.
But these are the wards that you worked in. But we were talking about Talegaon. The main guy in Talegaon, according to the Congress, at least the old Congress, I don't know now what the Congress is going to do going forward, but the old Congress, Datta Prasad was the only contender against Babush, which I beg to disagree. Now, if he cannot bring his wife in that ward, whatever the permutations and combinations, those are excuses. Ultimately, it is the win. He could not get his wife, then he is not a contender. How can he be a contender?
I don't know. I don't think, yeah, you can look at it in that way, definitely. His wife not winning is...
He not ensuring his wife.
Yeah, he
That's
not
my
ensuring
point.
his wife. See, he was wanting to get his wife to stand from Talegaon. That was
ML.
that
Or
was,
him, I thought
that
it
was
was
the
him.
plan. Either he has stood for 2 elections, and now he wanted his wife to stand. Is what was being what was the rumor that was being spread. But if she's not able to win a seat in this kind of an election, then someone like that wanting to sit for the larger election is a bigger problem. But the good takeaways for me from this thing is that in Talegaon the margins are like thin. Like, for example, a candidate that I focused on was Jane Poe in ward number 3. She has lost by barely 49 votes.
Which is quite good.
Which is excellent for Jane. See, Jane is not a social worker. She is not an activist, nor is she a politician, nor is she a social activist, or she's not that. She's a educated person who's very keenly into her family business of being a Raponkar. They are fishermen, traditional Raponkar fishermen. And she came out for the election with a very specific reason, saying that the Raponkars in Karanjalem are being targeted. Our beach is being used without our permission. And a young woman like her to come out and fight against the incumbent this over there and lose by just 49 votes, I thought was a very, very powerful statement. Similarly, there are other people like Sudhin Kamath was there in ward number 5, did quite a good job, came quite close.
That is Talegaon?
That is Talegaon.
But Sudhin Kamath is from Panjim, right? I thought.
He lives in Talegaon.
Okay.
He's from this, but he lives in Talega. So he stood in that ward and he this. Other than that, Leonid, that ward I was not paying much attention because that
is
Suren's wards and Suren was paying attention. Suren losing wasn't too surprising for me. I had a feeling that might happen. A, because his ward was completely changed, and B, because Kabir's ward was a larger chunk of the old ward that Kabir had was in the new ward. So Kabir's voters were intact, whereas Suren's voters were fragmented across 3-4 different wards, which was done specifically this time. See, the gerrymandering that has happened this time, gerrymandering is basically where they play around with the wards and the voters. There's a specific scientific term to it, it's called gerrymandering. The gerrymandering has happened so badly that, like, I keep on giving this example. If you take one Aiva, which is one Vado, it is one big, long, continuous Vado. When you enter Aiva, the first part of Aiva, some houses
we'll discuss this later because you've come, discussed this little thing.
So that was one thing, and so my takeaways are that one is that Talega we have done better and closer margins and given a really tough fight in the wards that fall in the Talega constituency. Secondly, Jack winning was the best thing.
He's a personal friend.
Yeah, he's a personal friend. He deserves that win. He fights for Goa. He's fighting for the Goan tourism businesses, and he's been there on the ground working for the people, being amongst the people for a very, very long time. So I'm very happy that Jack won, and yeah, these are the good takeaways as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, thanks Francis. Rama, what do you see? You are not you and me probably we never got directly involved in this election, though.
Correct.
We were talking about it.
Correct.
So what is the?
In fact, I was keeping very close eye on Jack's campaign, and
Yesterday
looks
we
like we were talking about, and I would like to congratulate Jack. Basically, they are reminding us once again again about the opinion poll. So there is one part of Panjim which has given still a opinion for saving Goa.
And for Jack also one good thing is that he is the TTAG chief, travel and tourism.
Correct.
So for him, these type of people we need.
Correct.
Less corrupt. I mean, not corrupt. They have their own. They don't have they don't need to make money from politics. These legacy families, people who are concerned.
Correct. So one side, in fact, people are also looking for a candidate, respectful candidate. In fact, and the money flow was there for all that is a normal thing. Panjim, Talega is about money, but in spite of money flow, Jack getting elected is basically about respect and the work which he have done, and as well as the impact of he being the grandson of Dr. Jack Sequeira. So main important setback जो पणजे इलेक्शनाक जर बारीक पळोवपाक गेल्यार जालो तो म्हणटा ते ह्या CCP एका looking at further 1 year left for assembly elections. I think so. Ami Ponjekar, which was panel of Ami Ponjekar, which was led by Utpal and other people, other political parties.
Utpalaचे सगळे नाव फोकस.
Utpalaचे focus झाले, पण rest all the political parties came together. Congress has Utpal, then Aam Aadmi Party and other parties also, and Ami Ponjekar म्हणून त्यांच्यानी panel घातले. पण ओवरऑल सेटबॅक जो म्हाका दिश्टी पडटा 56.83% is total vote share of Babushi's panel. 56.80. Ami Ponjekar, more than half, and Ami Ponjekar has themselves not considering the independent. Ami Ponjekar got 35 percentage, and independent got 6%. So total the profile 43.17%
still Babushi's panel.
Still Babushi's panel is leading, in fact. So one of the reason what I feel je observation kartalo even last election jena Utpal ashilo as an independent candidate, he got much good performance than this local elections. So I think so people also are looking for a continuous political opponent.
Means
continuous player, you have to be on the ground. You cannot
you can't
election jale and my breaker gelo tashe salpan. It cannot be a part time. Panjim is looking for a full time politician.
Everywhere. Why only Panjim?
No, I'm talking about Panjim because right now we are discussing about it. So Panjim and Talega basically, because Talega it's considered 40% of the total wards.
Yeah.
Correct, na? So
no, not 40.
what it
30%.
30%. So 30%, which is a big number. 30% of the vote share comes from the Talega constituency, assembly constituency. So if you go to see, as Francis Babu also said, like, you know, there is a slight increase in the opposition vote shares in Talega. The performance is much better in Talega rather than Panjim. So we need to understand what went wrong, and
but the main contender's wife lost her. How do you see that?
Exactly.
But
See, main contender's wife lost. But if you go to see overall, comparatively to last time's
so
performance.
what you're saying is basically Francis has done a good job. Are you trying to say that?
I was not covering up, but Francis, I have
Just
seen
because you're a
Francis.
French, you should not say this.
No, Francis was working. In fact, I was getting the fillers also from the different wards. In fact, there are certain wards where I was in contact.
Those candidates didn't stand for it.
Yeah, those candidates. It's very sad that those candidates didn't stand for elections. And also पहिलीच अफवा झाली की रामा तू कॅन्डिडेट घालून सोदता म्हणून अशें त्या वॉर्डाचेर
At least something.
Okay.
But she probably, that candidate probably was much more, what do you say?
Yeah,
she
they
was
were
more old
and
than
hope.
the person.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but anyway, it depends upon, like, you know, the alliance take up, like, you know, Ponjekar, Ami Ponjekar जे आशिल्ले पळय ते कशे play करता important role आसा. See, main importantly, if you go to see, you check out, say 60%, I mean 45% of the booths जे आसा सध्या प्रेझेंटली, which I was very closely monitoring, 1, 2, 3, एका घरांतले voters आसा पळय, एकूच घर, they are 2 voters on the last day. How you do the election is much before that. We have to be very closely monitoring how the delimitations and how the election commission is setting aside this according to the ruling MLA
Dictates.
Exactly. So त्या हेतून हांव जेन्ना लोकांकडे उलयताले तुजो वोट हे सायडीक कसो, तुजो जॉग्राफिकल एरिया हे सायडीन, इवन आयवा उलयता पळय अर्धे वोटर वयर आसात त्याच फॅमिलीचे दुसऱ्या वॉर्डान अर्धे वोटर. हाऊ कॅन वन हाऊस इट शुड बी जॉग्राफिकली.
I'll tell you one thing. In my place in Panjim, in my flat, 2 rooms were in one ward and 1 room was in the
So how
other.
it is possible? So election commission should define the geographical
But
area.
that was during Congress time, not
No,
BJP
but
time.
now also it has happened, and people were surprised saying that आपलो vote त्या वॉर्डान कसो पावलो का म्हणून. So no one, see, election is a continuous process. You cannot just come during the time of election and say, whenever the changes is been done in the election commission, you have to monitor, and that is the reason why you had to have the election polling agent. ओके, कंटिन्युअस पोलिंग एजंट ते फक्त इलेक्शनाक त्या 1000 रुपया दिवन इलेक्शनाचेर बसोवपाक लागून हाडटाले ते मनीस उपकारना. Actually पळोवपाक गेल्यार प्रत्येक I'm talking about all the political parties. Then you have one person, a polling agent,
One or three. This is
1
the
or 3
RSS style, what you're talking
exactly.
about, basically.
And
Left also used
then
to
you
do
will
this
understand
in
where are your voters
and
going.
Kerala.
Where are you voters going? Are you voters there? आता वोटरांक सुद्धा केन्ना कळटा आपलो दुसऱ्या हितून चेंज जाला म्हणून, तेन्नाच कळटा न्हू. वोटर्स आर नॉट लिस्ट बॉदर्ड अबाउट इट. आमचं वोटिंग आहा मरे म्हणटाले ते, मागीर तांकां कळटा की अकस्मात आपलो वोटर ते सायडीन आहा, आपल्या फॅमिलीची वोटिंग ह्या वॉर्डान आहा. So last moment you cannot do anything. So Babush have played a very systematic arrangement.
But he always does it.
Yeah, this time he have done more, and he knows what he have done. आणि म्हाका दिसता की फुडल्या इलेक्शनाक समज तर आमी सिरियस आसा, including Panjim and this, you cannot be waiting at a last moment. Political parties have to think by these results. We always say 1-to-1 fight. But having only 1-to-1 fight is not.
Was a 1-to-1 side in 20.
But having only 1-to-1 fight without strategy, without the ground working is not possible. What I exactly
Just going and having some press
no, it cannot be
conferences
possible.
and,
It cannot be.
Media management.
Press conferences do not give you votes. It's about your grassroots people, how often they are visiting their people. It's a very simple thing. Elections is not about the manifesto showing to the public. Manifesto pulls out 1 to 15, 5% of the vote share campaign, and the most importantly is about the grassroots people, how they are connected. You see RSS guys, whoever are there supporting BJP, they will visit your house every day. बाबा कसो हा कितें हा मरणाक वयता कित्याकू वतलो. So that is the kind of connectivity. In Goa's politics is about मरण विसरपाक जायना, बर्थडेज विसरपाक जायना, काजार विसरपाक जायना. ह्यो गजाली हा पळय त्यो which makes people very this. Though we know that we elect MLAs who legislate, but people here thinks about माझी connectivity. Oh, माझा मनीस.
It's not only in Goa.
Yeah.
So wherever we go.
But
Only
Goa,
thing-
it is, yeah.
because MLA can go personally because it's smaller places. But other places.
So if you
yeah,
want
they
to
expect.
win
rural
elections,
areas.
if you want to win elections, we had to change the pattern of.
People have to know your
Yeah.
place. Yeah. Viraj.
No, what he said is right. In Goa, since the constituencies are small, one-on-one connect is much more important than the party, than the narrative. So you are expected to do all these things, birthday parties, weddings, funerals, and so on, and local tournaments and all those kind of things. So that connect is important. Just being in press conferences and other places will not get you votes. You have to personally connect to as many voters as possible.
That's where the election management comes in, no? Like you need people in the booths, in the areas where they can go, as they said, so that they can go and talk to people, meet people, and if there are any issues. So that's something that people they may not be like, but that's something that people like Vishwajit and even Michael or even most of the BJP MLAs you talk about, like Daji Salkar, they have their offices where any problem you go there, they will sort out all. They have fixed problems, and they take effort and time to set up all these things. We need to go in for a short break. We'll be back almost immediately. Keep watching. Yeah, welcome back. We sorry for that interruption. I am Glenn Costa back, and with me is Francis. Francis, you start.
So, see, let's, since we're analyzing this this entire election, there are a couple of things that, there are a couple of big learnings that have happened. For me, especially from looking at as a coalition, coalition politics, See, आमी वयता थिंगा लोक म्हणटा आमकां की सगळे एकठांय येयल्यार ही BJP सरकार आमी हें दिवंक शकता आनी सगळ्यांनी एकठांय येवंक जाय. इट इज नॉट एज सिंपल एज दॅट. हिंगा सगळे एकठांय येयलेले पूण दे वर नॉट फुल्ली म्हणजे they didn't put their heart and soul into it. The Congress workers in Panjim and Talegaon were missing from the scene. They did not put their heart and soul. एक 2-4 दीस काँग्रेसीचे मेन येयले आनी भोंवले आनी तुमी कॅमेरा फोटो काडले मिडियाचेर घाले तितून दॅट इज नॉट Congress did not put, according to me, they did not put their skin in the game as much as they should have. Aam Aadmi Party did, and the result is showing for Aam Aadmi Party in Jack's win very, very clearly. They did put their heart and soul into that one, and they have got that as a result for it. In one ward they have failed miserably.
Which is the other
Because the candidate, ward number 2, Uma Volvoikar, the candidate is not from that ward. She didn't even know that ward existed. She didn't know that the village existed. But because they didn't have a choice, but they had to put her over there because of the reservation. That is an ST ward. Rama Kankonkar will tell you, tinga OBC ekloy na, general ekloy na.
It's OBC made.
made in
ST.
I know.
Aakke ST. Even the what do you call it, the Bhadchis and everybody in that ward is from the ST community. It is completely ST. There's like
Bhadchis can't be best.
whatever. I'm just saying that there everybody
Zalmis you mean to say?
yeah, there is there. I have been
Zalmis you meant to say, we do the puja from ST community.
yeah, no, but seriously, I learned that temple over there and that thing, that ward is very close to my house. I have grown up going over there. I mean, thinga hoitale that thinga, you get to go into the rocks near the thing for catching crabs, and also we have been growing up in that ward. My neighbor has a local bar that they used to run in that ward over there. So I know Aiva very well. Aiva is completely ST, there's no doubt about it. That ward was OBC. So you had to export a candidate. What he did was what Babush did was he exported the Caroline Poe from 2 wards away. She was in ward number 4. He brought her to ward number this, and for her it was easy. She's staying next door. And she's been there for 30 years. The voters
from the mayor she is also.
Yeah, from the mayor also, and she's been there close by next door. So she knows those people. We had to take a person from 3-4 wards away who is from the OBC community and put that person over there. That did not work out for us only. Still she got 200 votes, which is a big deal. For her, she's never been to that this before. For her to pull out 200 votes was a big deal. So this is the kind of things that was done in that ward.
Election management.
Now coming back to the coalition, coming back to the election management and the coalition.
No, this was good election management by Babush. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is not election management.
Of course.
This is election commission management.
This is election commission management, and also this is undue manipulation of the electoral rolls and
Electoral process.
Yeah, electoral process. Anyway, but that I have given up on complaining about that. Till the BJP is in power, it's going to happen.
No, but every party in power does it, bro. Every party in power.
I don't think the Congress should do it to this level.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's not.
So let's not discuss that. But okay, let's come back to the subject of coalition electoral politics, right? So first of all, the coalition has to have its let's take an example of when a coalition won for the first time. The NDA government for the first time when it came in power, and the Prime Minister was Atal Bihari Vajpayee. All of those parties that came together to form the NDA government had their heart and soul into that coalition. That's why they made that coalition happen. That's why they could beat the Congress at that time. Here, this coalition did not have its heart and soul. Secondly, Utpal's reading of Panjim has gone totally wrong. Right? I'm not saying that Utpal did not work. I'm not saying that he's not a great guy or he's a bad guy. I'm not commenting on that. But his strategy and reading of the central Panjim, which was completely him. I did not interfere at all, nor did
Did you go there?
I did not go to the central Panjim, any of those wards at all. Except for Jack's ward, where and that too, I don't know too many people in his ward. I just went as to say hi to Jack and support Jack and tell him that we are with him. But other than that, Fontainish a little bit we roamed around because we know people in Santome, Fontainish, those areas, and we told people to vote for the Amikar Panjim. But we don't really have too much of a say in those wards. Those wards are the mainstay of late Manohar Parrikar. Those wards are the mainstay of supposedly of Utpal Parrikar, and his strategy was that if he does this whole coalition, I think that has backfired for him. Now coming
backfired, I don't know. Has it backfired for him?
See, looking at the situation, actually, Popagalar Utpal Parrikar एक best opportunity actually to perform, because as we know that another 10 months code of conduct and the assembly elections. So these elections,
I think most probably code of conduct.
What? Sorry,
January,
January or December.
It will be, I think, elections.
So more.
I think, I don't know.
Exactly, another 10 months.
That Viraj is smiling. We'll have to ask him.
Both of you are guessing just agree on something.
So Maka dista ki this is a real setback for Utpal, and not only Utpal, but if you go to see, as Francis said, that Congress is. See, we had how many wards? Total 30 wards, right? So definitely there are people from Congress supporters who have contested.
4,000 votes. At least 3,500, 4,000 voters are there.
Correct. So if you go to see, every political party should have taken the responsibility. One ward for one team of one constituency should, as an observer and as a campaign, this could have been done. But I was not seeing that. But for example, if they have given 5 seats for Congress in Panjim, Congress supporters or whatever it is.
Was it done that way? I don't know how this election.
No, that's what. So if that was there, then why the opposition political parties didn't campaign at that level? I have seen Captain Viriato, I have seen Amit Patkar coming over there. But as a bloc,
if Yuri and Venzi did more than both of them combined.
See, you have to create that perception when you are fighting in elections. That was only municipality election. You have to get all over Goa people at least for one day campaigning across.
You mean all the leaders of the party?
All the leaders of the party, one day, and they campaign it one ward can be given for one particular district. They have district presidents and different, along with their team getting over there. That could have made a little difference. The Panjim are changing. The perception was not been. म्हाका दिसता परसेप्शन जावन आसलें म्हाका अशें दिसता आनी लोकां कडेन I knew some of the people who were contesting for the first time contesting elections against the experienced guys was also matters a lot.
It's tough.
Okay, so made a lot of difference. Panjim, yes, of course. Utpal, it is a challenging thing in upcoming elections.
One thing I want to add before we go to Viraj, one thing I want to add, see, coalition politics, I don't think what happened is happened now among you all Francis was coalition. If it is coalition, I don't see the logic in this. Why? I'll tell you. I'll explain. There was a, like last time when you were there, Sanjay was there. He's not active Congress, but he will be Congress. He's ultimately Congress. Birthday. He's saying we thought this was a BJP panel. I think why? You were there. Remember what he told you? It's a perception outside panel. He's saying why? He's the founder of the BJP, and the Congress is supporting means it doesn't make sense to us. He said. So then you try to explain to him and all. So maybe, but I don't know. This was, according to me, this was not coalition. This was seat management. Viraj, you correct me if I'm wrong. This was seat management. Like at least there should not be two, like except I think some one or two
seat
words.
Sharing arrangement. You mean?
Yes, seat sharing arrangement. It was that, only that. So there could be a one-on-one fight because the whole of Goa, especially guys like your former, the former president of AAP, and present MLA of AAP and Congress, so many of the Congress leaders and so many of the Goa Forward leaders are saying no, there should be a coalition. So only one person can stand against BJP. That shows, if you take this as a blueprint for that, it does not work. There are one-on-one contest for 27 seats. No, wait. 27 seats, one-on-one.
No, 23.
23, one-on-one. They should have won 23 at least, or 20, or 15. Did not happen. So the point is what? The point is that if just because you are in coalition, and suppose if Congress doesn't put a seat here, or BJP, MGP doesn't put, or X doesn't put a seat, only one-on-one seat, you still are going to lose. This is what it shows. Now this is something that Viraj, for you.
Yeah, I think looking at the results,
Yeah,
it looks that way that the votes consolidation or transfer of votes has not happened.
Candidate is supposed to move out and get it done.
So
and ensure that the leaders do it.
Either the candidates have not been able to perform at their optimal level, or the selection itself is not very appealing for the voters in that particular ward.
This could be the two reasons.
This could be the two reasons, because if you look at the vote margins, just to summarize, out of 30 seats, 15 seats have been won with a margin of more than 100. So 50% of the seats with more than 100 margin, 30% seats, that is 9 seats won with a margin of 50 to 100, meaning 51 to 100. So if you look at this, 80% seats won with a margin of more than 50. So that's a big number.
20%?
It's
15, 20%?
Yeah, so only 20% remain. Out of that, only one seat has been won with a difference of less than 10 votes. So it's not like it's been a very close contest. So the margins have been healthy, and I mean, it's very difficult to say that this went wrong, that went wrong. I think it's a very decisive mandate and a very strong victory for Babush and the BJP.
Analysis. Why do you think?
One, I think if you look at Babush Montserrat, so one, he knows this game. So if you just look into it, he never contested any election when Manohar Parrikar was there, never contested against him. He never contested by-polls. It happened twice in Panjim, did not contest. So he knows where to focus, he knows where to put his strength, and I think that he has done by selecting proper candidate. Candidate management has been done properly. Perfectly.
Always.
And also you have to remember that he is strong. He was expected to win this. Majority was never in question. It was always going to be with Babush and the BJP. Even if you ask the opposition panel, they would have said at best they could reach 10, 12 or whatever.
No, opposition panel were thought they could win, but like we had said that the mayor would be Babush.
He was expected to win, but this kind of mandate, I think landslide is unprecedented, and probably I think they said they would win 30, but I think they were not expecting 27, if you ask me frankly. But
I think they were expecting between 18 to 20. That's what I was told. I don't know.
So
that last minute mile, like when the perception, when people think, anyway he's going to win, we may as well vote for him. Did that thing possibly have I don't know, but Panjim now.
No,
is more like-
Panjim, I don't think so. That
Doesn't work like
it
that.
works for assembly elections. It doesn't work for this because there were not too many candidates to judge. Many of the candidates were one to one.
One on one. That's what, no?
Okay.
It's easier
It
to.
yeah, it's easier. See, when it happens, like when there is a triple fight, like so that times, like you do not want the ruling person to come back again, and you do not want to divide the votes. So this time it was not that way. It was clear cut 1-to-1 fight in majority of.
Decisive mandate. That's
Yeah,
what you're
so
saying.
this is
You agree with him,
Yeah.
Francis?
Yeah, it's quite clear that this is a decisive mandate. See, we are still analyzing what has gone wrong in each ward. You have to look at it from each ward perspective. So
Okay.
I have studied each of the I can tell you an example. Do a run through quick of 6 wards, for example. So ward number 1, the candidate that has won is Babush's candidate. She's a new candidate, brand new to politics.
Young new face.
Her father is a close aide of Babush, and they made the daughter sit. That ward again was.
She's an influencer with her.
She's an influencer. That ward is again a completely OBC ward. It's the ward where it touches where I live. It's half of Dona Paula. That ward is an OBC ward that was made and given to ST, right? Where there are no STs in that. She was imported over there. And then the other 2 candidates, one was an ST candidate from the neighboring Iowa. They got a good amount of 249 votes. And one was Ami Bonjekar candidate that seat was given to the Congress. And the Congress was supposed to be managing that seat. And Captain Viriato, in fact, campaigned in that ward for the Congress and for that candidate. He campaigned for literally 45 minutes, not too long, but he did come and meet people. The result of that campaigning and that Congress thing in that ward is 102 seats. That shows, that was a half-assed effort, and the same thing with the other candidate. So the independent has got more votes than the Ami Bonjekar panel. Ami Bonjekar has come 3rd in that, and that is because the Congress was in charge of that. Okay. Second one, Carolina Poe and the entire thing in Iowa we've explained to you. Hats off to Oma, she's got 205 votes. She's an old lady standing for elections post 60 for the first time. It was a lot of hard work for her, and she's not from that ward, doesn't know that ward from anywhere. She's again, that is an ST ward. She was an OBC candidate, but Carolina Poe was a neighbor. She knows that ward by heart. She knows the people by heart. She's grown up over there. So it was a easy win for Carolina Poe over there, and she won by a massive margin of 400 votes almost, right? 390 or 400 votes. Next one is Jane and Margarita. Here, Jane has given her an extremely tough fight. Like I said earlier, I'm extremely proud of Jane Poe, because as a young candidate, as a first-time candidate, she has come out and she has fought this election against Margarita and lost by just 49 votes. So that was an excellent fight. I took personal interest in her campaign, and I went campaigning with her. The next one is Rohit's ward. Rohit's ward, they have done everything that they can to ensure that Rohit wins over there. They have left Babush, his entire team has left no stones unturned in ward number 4 to ensure that Baba Rohit Montserrat wins. Rohit Montserrat was never seen in that ward in the last 5 years, but that's a different matter altogether. Sudhin Kamath came close to winning in ward number 5, which was a tough fight, but Kishore Sastry is the incumbent. Sudhin Kamath is brand new to that politics in that ward. He stood for the first time. He lives over there, but Kishore Shastri is the incumbent from there, so he had a better chance of winning any which ways. Sheetal's ward, and Sheetal and Bento, the fight was that ward was split in such a way that it had more Bento voters than it had Sheetal voters. So for Sheetal to win over there was an uphill task any which ways, but Datta Prasad and Sheetal, like Babushan team, left no stone unturned in ward number 4. Sheetal and Datta Prasad left no stone unturned in ward number 6. They did everything that they could, and they were pretty confident of the win. They were talking about winning since a month back, from before the election was this. But that is a lesson to be learned for both Sheetal and Datta Prasad. Datta Prasad especially, because he was planning to put Sheetal as a candidate for the assembly elections, which I don't think is a good idea, but looking at this result. Ward number 7 I can't comment on, ward number 8 I can't comment on. I'll go and tell you an example of ward number 13 directly. Let's go to ward number 13.
But Sanjeev Desai is the BJP, right?
Yeah.
This Rupesh Shirgaonkar is who now?
Sanjeev Desai is a BJP person,
He's a
and he fought
ex-blocker.
against Furtado. This is Furtado's main voters opponent. Ward number
he's
7.
Congress. But who is this Rupesh Shirgaonkar? Is from which ward number 8?
Rupesh Shirgaonkar is a person that Utpal had put over there.
Utpal, okay.
Yeah, against Karina Shirodkar.
Okay.
That is a place where Manohar Parrikar used to win a lot of votes earlier. So
Yes.
that is his domain. Entire
Used to
Real factory is there, and that area. That is his complete domain, right? Then ward number 9 was again Suren Furtado and Kabir Makija. Now Kabir has been working in that ward constantly. This is Kabir's ward. Suren's ward has been fragmented into 3. So all his voters have been thrown into 3 or 4 different wards. His ward has been literally like you slice a sliced bread, has been sliced and just spread and sprinkled across different wards. So he was up a tough fight in ward number 9, and Kabir's voters were packed into that ward completely. So when you do gerrymandering, there's something called packing and fragmenting. Packing was done very well for Kabir in this ward, and Kabir has worked hard also. See, Kabir is a great candidate, and I think Kabir also deserves to win. I don't have anything against Kabir, but I think the packing helped him in that ward. In ward number 10, Vishnu Naik lost by 21 or 22 votes. Advocate
Vishnu Naik is from
no, Vishnu
Utpal.
Naik is Utpal's Utpal's person, and Prasad Amonkar won by about 21 votes. So that was a very, very close fight. We were very hopeful that Advocate Vishnu Naik will win, but that didn't happen.
Prasad's an old horse. He's been in Congress. He was with Yatin Parekh, he was councillor.
Yeah, so
He's right from the 90s, late 90s.
So here again is the same thing. No, Prasad Amonkar been there, done that, corporator for many times. Whereas Advocate Vishnu Naik is a young new contender trying to win for the first time. Ward number 11 is filled with migrants and outsiders who've now turned themselves into Goans. And Chinnavar Tukaram Chandrappa is, he runs a wine store over there. And Gaurav Naik is Amsa Goenkar, but Gaurav Naik is again first time. He was the guy who they tried to kidnap while he was visiting his mother in the hospital. And Babush ran up the steps, and a lot of drama happened in that. And according to me, Gaurav Naik is a very young, first time, this is his first experience. If he stands again, I think he has a chance of winning over there, because this is a huge learning from him. He just got 256 votes.
Utpal group?
Gaurav Naik was put by Utpal.
Okay.
No, the Gaurav Naik was again put by Datta Prasad. Put by Datta Prasad, but helped by Utpal. Okay. Then number 12 is our candidate was Shabnam Khan, because there is a sizable population of Muslims over there. And their candidate was Varsha Hari, and there was Brijesh Kavalkar who was was there. So again in this case,
Kavalkar,
independent candidate. Our candidate on the Ami Ponjekar panel was has got 182. So here also the Ami Ponjekar panel has come third in this ward. There were 3 contestants in this ward, and Ami Ponjekar has come third. Varsha is the winner in that ward. Now 13, like I said, Uday Madkekar versus Nilkant. I am very unhappy that Nilkant Chari lost. Nilkant Chari is a very nice gentleman. He's worked extremely hard, done a lot of work for people. मेवता तितले लोकांक पावला तो कोणूच तेजे बद्दल काय वाईट उलोवंक शकना.
But Uday is another player, so as to say. He knows how to win.
Again, this ward. So if you see Chari's ward for the last election, Chari lost by 15 votes 10 or 15 votes in the last election. That entire ward used to start from Kamath, Kamath Plaza or something like that. Take the entire Madhuban circle and just reach the TB Chest hospital. That ward. Now that ward has been carved into 3, right? So from the Chest hospital up to Madhuban circle, that part is gone and added to this guy's ward, Uday Madkaikar's ward. So this is Uday Madkaikar had 70% of his ward, and Chari had 30% of his ward in this particular ward. So it was, it was always going towards Uday, but we really wanted Chari to win over there. The next ward is again Mala and that side. It's got a little bit of Batlem and that side.
So
yeah.
Tajat is a former council. Last time because of reservations he could not stand.
Yeah, so then these 4 wards, 14, 15, 16, I was like, not involved at all in any which ways. 17 was Altin, which is the one that Jack has won. 18, again, I cannot tell you much about it. 19, I got.
This Krishna or Milin, as we know him, that is Batlines, Orikode. That's we were talking about yesterday on the Rama. That is Batlines, Orikode. That is that word. Milind is a former councillor. He was that time first he was a councillor opposition against Manohar Parrikar. Then he went to and joined Babu.
Which ward it is?
It's Ward 18.
Ward 18.
Yeah. Now this 19 ward I don't know. 19 ward.
19 ward, both of them are ex-corporators.
Where is
Nikita Naik.
No, it was reserved for women, right?
Yeah, it was reserved for women,
Where
but
is this ward
previously-
exact? 19.
19 is I don't know the exact boundaries, but it's close to that only. It's
in between somewhere probably. Mala
yeah.
and all.
Yeah, I think
That is, I think that's where that Minino's wife, I don't know, maybe.
it is where I have a feeling it's that when there's that internal road that goes up to the Portuguese consulate, or comes out of the
that is that is Jack's ward.
no, when you come down that slope.
And that
Inside.
is that may be divided. Okay, but that is this one, this Revonkar Mahesh, that is the Fontainebleau ward. See, Fontainebleau is Shubham is there's the sitting this councillor, and Mahesh Revonkar was the candidate set up by Utpal at this time. Last time it was represented by Tony's daughter, and I think she.
The next one again, Mahesh Revankar.
Same one, yeah. That is Fontainebleau.
That is the lower part of Fontainebleau.
Chapel, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the full.
Yeah, behind the chapel and behind the chapel, all of that, right?
Yeah.
Again, Mahesh Revankar towards the beginning was looking like he was going to win, but towards the end, I think the vote consolidated against him, and also there was the independent over there that has eaten into Mahesh's. Definitely eaten into Mahesh's votes, but even with the independence vote in that ward,
Would not have won.
Mahesh Revankar would still not have won. This Manisha Manerkar was again definitely winning from the beginning, but
The other candidates also have given I think so it's a first time, right? First time
yeah,
Tarka Pednikar's party.
yeah. The Tarka Pednikar was first time, and Manerkar and Manerkar family has been winning over there since a long time from back. The next one is this Kavilkar Neha Yashodanand is a brand new
That is Utpal.
Utpal, brand new candidate. Gadkar Vidya Satish, who won again, I know nothing about, but Masurkar Jyoti Prakash, we thought had a chance over there, but again that's Utpal candidate. Karan Yatin Parekh, Yatin has been winning over there. This is his son who stands. This is his complete ward, so it was quite easy. But still, the Ramdas Narvekar has given he's come quite. He got 40% of the votes, which I think
not
was
good, bad at all. Yeah.
But again, this is again an Utpal seat, so I can't comment much. But Yatin Parekh, we know, has been winning over there since a long time. Karan stood for the first time, was his son. So father transferring votes to son was very easy. So yeah, that's about it.
This Kalpesh, this Kirti Sakalkar is the daughter-in-law of Cafe Prakash. Cafe Prakash is a very famous journalist haunt, which we have grown up in, and Babu and me are we were very close friends. I say most of the journalists, or at least of our time, we've literally grown up and learnt our our trade there. That used to be the unofficial press club of of journalists in Panjim, Goa, and anybody wanted to meet us from all over the country also used to come and meet us because we didn't have a press club. Even now, once this Prakash Babu not too well and he stopped coming there, now that whole press club, we don't have a press club now. So now I think my office is a press club, so to say. But these people are
The ward which was continuously opposing the casinos, if you go to see nearby
Who
the
is
casino areas.
which is there?
Which is there? Ward number which is there?
Kampal.
Kampal, which this, no?
Kabir, no? Kabir has gone on record today to
Yeah.
us saying that he is personally against the casinos and the mess that they are creating for the city. And if there's any agitation, he would be there. But he's been very clear on that.
But
So,
this-
on record.
so Panjim,
CCP has no jurisdiction over casinos.
Correct.
That
But-
Babush has said. That the CCP has not said. But no, I think Rohit also last time he said
Rohit
that.
said.
Yeah, correct.
but these are the issues which Panjimites face, and on the basis of when we say that narrative, there are different constituencies where they set up a narrative that eka lagun pattam candidates. Okay, like for example in Santandre, like there are people who are supporting the marina project. Those people have fallen down. Gawani to impact definitely bore
It
issue,
depends.
but city wise I feel it is not the same.
No. I don't think you speak to Panjimites. I don't think Panjimites are against casino. They have no thought about it. There are a few NGOs, of course, who are against. Panjimites have issue with lots of issues that the casinos bring.
No, parking is also a major
Parking
issue
is not an issue because
which Panjimites claim. Like
no, parking is an issue. That is CCP issue. That CCP doesn't know how to manage it. But the issue with casinos for Panjimites is the traffic jams there. The bribes taken by the cops and they allow parking all over the place. I'm being very open about it because I'm a Ponjegar. One, all those touts which hang around there. All these cheddi tourists which come and roam around on those cockroach bikes of yours, those fasinos in Panjim, where the cops don't do anything. Double seat, triple seat, drunk driving, all that thing. We have issue with that. We have issue with taxi drivers from the casinos coming and parking in our parking areas. Now those are the issues. Now you casinos come, don't come, and the type of tourists that are coming here because Panjim is being made into that third class tourist type of a destination. You get good tourists, you get like very good events, and you get all these so many. You can bring in Brian Adams and all here. You do all these things in Donapal and all. More money will the Panjimites will make than all these. What are the Panjimites making money? Flats. They keep all these people from northeast and wherever, Nepal and all. One. Second thing is all these fast food counters, late liquor, which kills the restaurant business in Panjim. The main actual restaurant people who pay huge excise duty this far. And then pants and shirts. They come there in their cheddis and they buy their pant and t-shirt and then go into the casino. These are the businesses that are being. So if you give Panjimites an option, but we don't have an option. Today if a casinos go Panjim, shut here. 7 o'clock everybody will go home except now in times I think. Okay, sorry, I do not agree with any of these anti-casinos. Panjim will shut if the casinos go.
No, we were shocked. In fact, before elections, like a lot of people who was shouting against the casinos and this from the Panjimite, especially. I mean,
He's not a Panjimite, I am, but still.
no, but
I
how does
worked in
it?
Panjim.
Yeah, how does it doesn't impact the election?
He did not, did it? It did. Jack won.
No, but
Valmiki was pushed down. Pulled down.
Jack won for different.
But he was pulled down from there. People said, these guys they have action, they're not talk. So he won. And that's a very strong word. Eddie is a.
I don't think you can just.
No, just consider the casino to this. Otherwise, there were other words also.
You have to give Jack his win completely.
Yeah.
You can't just say because
Not because of the
this
football.
was-
Jack was there.
No, Jack was there, no doubt. But see, understand something. Jack has been working in the social space as a social worker, doing anything that you call up Jack for. You tell him we are taking some kids out in
Yeah,
the fields. Jack is like
Very cooperative,
very
absolutely.
cooperative. He'll donate to the cause. He'll come along. He'll send his kids. He'll do whatever. You tell Jack that we're going to an orphanage and doing something. Jack is there. So Jack has been out there pouring his heart out for Goa and for the people for a very long time, and that has built a lot of goodwill for Jack. That has built an amazing amount of goodwill.
Actually,
Secondly, in his ward, in the last 15 days, every other ward, that whole gerrymandering that was done in Jack's ward as well.
Yeah.
He has gone and he has found each voter.
That's my point.
All
Arre
the
boss,
voter
that is
found-
my point. And that's what Rama was also saying. This is the way you win elections.
This is the way.
Because during the
There
time
were-
when Babush was in
See, there were-
operation, Manohar Parrikar had done it.
See-
I remember so many of the candidates were there.
See,
They
forget-
also had to search and they
Glenn
won.
Bob, forget about
And Babush won against Manohar
Glenn
Parrikar.
Bob, forget
He had
about-
won last. I just want to make one
Babush had to
point.
do it, you're saying.
He did it because Manohar Parrikar was CM and Babush fought against him and won every time in Panjim as opposition. By the way, and Manohar Parrikar was also very intelligent. Take it from me.
See, there are some
Wait,
people.
but I have one last point. Here again, being on Manohar Parrikar, I think. Sorry, I may be putting myself out on a limb. I think probably Jack is a better candidate for assembly than Utpal Parrikar. I don't know. You guys may not agree with it. Let me put this out to you all and make it.
what-
Wait, I'll discuss it with Virat first. Not on this point. This is my personal gyan. You
Yeah.
guys
But
discuss
Viraj, do you
it.
think Jack is a
CCP.
better candidate than
No,
Utpal for
this
Panjim?
gyan you don't.
Please answer, Viraj. I'm putting you on
Yes
spot.
or no?
So, see, Utpal
No, you
Parrikar-
discuss the general analysis. Don't discuss. Don't get pulled into that.
So, Utpal Parrikar had come very close last time.
Very, very close. not just
So,
very
someone
close.
who comes this close, you usually anticipate that he will build on it and maybe sail through the next time around. There is another possibility where that person goes down and then just goes into
He's
oblivion.
not
So,
there for some time. Lot of time.
so
Goes
I
into
think
oblivion, you're saying.
a case. I'm just giving you reference. of
That
two-
will be a little harsh for Utpal
Yeah.
to send him into oblivion.
So
Don't send him. He was not there. That's what he's trying to say in the past 4 years.
He was not there. So
That's
I think instead of building on his last assembly performance, his performance has gone down, and it will be very difficult for him to contest a 2027 election and come close to what Babush will get. So as an alternative, a Congress candidate or someone non-BJP candidate
Backed by
like Jack
Congress.
has
But
a
backed by, it
better
has to be
chance.
backed by Congress.
It has to be backed by Congress. Ideally, has to be a Congress candidate. If not backed by the Congress, someone like Jack is an excellent candidate. I'm not saying he'll win, but I'm saying it is about being in the race. It is about being close. And then if anti-incumbency comes or if votes consolidation happens, you can go through.
But again,
You
the
know.
question comes: is Aam Aadmi Party? Jack is a part of Aam Aadmi Party.
That I don't
Aam
know what
Aadmi
will
Party
happen.
in Panjim also a questionable. This
So you have basically
Panjim, it will be a person.
basically
It will be person. But Congress has to back.
it has
Otherwise, no chance.
you have to be in the top two. So I think Jack has a better probability of being.
Wait,
in
yaar, why you going far? You tell me one thing. Fatodda, your leader, supposedly. If Congress puts a candidate, you think he's going to win?
who's the leader?
Your leader, all everybody's leader. You think he's going to win if Congress puts a candidate there in Fatodda? You think so?
No, but that's the reason he want alliance, right?
So why you're saying Aam Aadmi Party? You are having no double standards. In Panjim, he's
No,
Aam Aadmi,
see,
so you
Panjim-
cannot have an alliance.
See,
What is this?
Panjim, if you look at the situation.
I'm being diverse
no,
advocate
no,
here, but
I
I'm
would
just
like to say Panjim for Aam Aadmi Party. You see?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying
No, you see the performance.
backed
Yeah, backed by. You should have their own vote bank also to be backed by. So when you are considering about the Aam Aadmi Party in Panjim, I'm not talking about other
How many votes
constituencies.
Jack got?
You got 250 votes also last 400 votes for
No,
assembly
now,
elections.
now.
Okay,
Jack got
Jack got 400 votes something.
344 votes.
300.
So Aam Aadmi Party has got 344 votes.
No, also,
No. I'm talking about assembly elections. I'm talking about assembly performance for
he's
last.
got 344 votes.
I'm talking
I
about
think he's got
assembly
more than
election.
Valmiki here for the assembly elections. I'm sorry. But I'm just saying.
You're being very cruel, Mr.
Yeah.
no.
Mr.
Again,
Glenn Costa.
Utpal has a problem in the sense that see he is from the BJP. If he wins, he will support the
He's
BJP.
from the BJP. His father formed the BJP.
So
From the
suppose
BJP is like that.
suppose
very
he
polite.
wins,
Then
he will
put it
join
in
the
mild.
BJP. So or support the BJP. So this the people know. So the opposition voters cannot vote for him. So all his votes have to come from the BJP.
See, there is no force. See, this is BJP versus BJP. BJP versus ex-BJP, or you can say whatever it is. Like, people have to get a clarity. Now, for a person
How
like,
they are going to get this?
yeah,
clarity?
exactly.
This
For
will
that
not
person
work
like
well.
me who is against BJP, I want a clarity that person will not go to enjoy.
You are not a voter of Panjim. Yeah?
No,
So you don't matter.
See, there will be a lot of people like me who will be saying that we do not
I'm
want
just
BJP, we
making
want to
fun of-
openly campaign for.
Rama, I'm
But
just
the
pulling
question
your leg.
is whether that person is going to join BJP or
I'm
not.
just pulling your leg. Relax. Yeah, son.
No,
What
his
is he?
point is valid.
His point, of course, I agree with him.
So
fully.
those guys guys will
This we
not vote
discussed
for
more than an hour
Uttar.
yesterday. This very thing, and like he was, Francis.
I feel that Babush and his antics have won again this time. And and
He's
hats off.
brilliant by election management, bro. Sorry,
Antics.
yaar, I beg to differ.
Antics. It's basically a bunch of antics. I don't care much for them. I'm working at him, and I'm going for him, gunning for him. Especially in Talega, we are on the ground. We're doing what needs to be done. I feel that the issues of Panjim, to whoever has won the election, the issues of Panjim are still as they are. Right?
Yeah.
The parking needs to be sorted.
It's a major-
right?
major
Forget about smart parking, where I keep talking about how they promised us smart parking. You get onto an app, and before you reach the city, you book your parking slot, pay on the app, reach over there, get your parking, finish your work, get out of the parking, and move on.
That,
Brilliant. That's a pipe dream. That's a pipe dream, guys. In Panjim, that's not going to happen. Forget I said it. Okay, but let's talk about a simple problem. 50 to 70% of the people working in Panjim.
Okay, we are out of time. We're going to shut, so we just
the parking problem. 50 to 70% of the people working in the casinos bring their own bikes. Their bikes have overtaken. They're like ants and termites that have just overtaken that entire stretch. Tinga bike long, so tinga tuka burgyanchi cycle long jago me hona. And te solve karung jai dela the CCP has to ensure that the casinos are told all their employees should park in the
They come by buses,
the multi-level parking. Only the females come by buses. Most of the guys, male employees, are coming by their own bikes, and they have overtaken that entire bike parking over there. Okay, and most of us Panjimites, Taligaonkars, we like to come to Panjim on our bike. Yaar. We want to come there on a bike and park. Ami bike adi ami car घेऊन वसनाले काराक parking होता. आता bike park. Ami korpaji किदे? Bike सोडपाची मांडवीन and मागीर वचपाची भितर बाजारान. So that simple thing can be solved if you tell the employees of the casinos park in the pay parking. Make it mandatory, which the CCP can do, which they don't do. These basic things, you all have won it. Congratulations. You all have got these issues to deal with. Please ensure that the garbage is collected on time, and please ensure that in this 5 years you all don't try to make the city smarter. So just leave it as it is.
and keep the infrastructure as it is. One thing I need to add, we need little bit of, our cylinders are running low, so either we get LPG or we get induction at home. That's one thing we need.
I think looking at the scenario and looking at the results, people of Panjim have accepted that this is the smart city.
Sorry? What is it?
People of Panjim, looking at the votings and all, people of Panjim have accepted the smart city, whatever is current situation today. Itni smart city poems hottale ashe maka dista ki.
No, we don't want to see any smart city. We want our city the way it is. Sorry, off topic. Yeah, Viraj, this has gone a little off topic, but still. What do you think?
No, I think this is a very decisive mandate. Babu's position has strengthened
I did not expect.
to a very strong
So hopefully
level.
at least parking and the sewage issue we can
And
sort out here.
Now that the election is done, I think the real issues will be focused on. There is incentive for Babush and Rohit because elections are coming up, assembly elections. So hopefully they will try and solve the issues, maybe make some improvements where they are required, and Panjimites should get what they want and should be happy.
3 things we want. 3 things. Starting what that time when I was in Herald, I had filed one story. It's still available online. The sewer, Santine sewer, which is supposed to be a canal, that sewer has to be cleaned. I remember once when Surendra was the mayor. Now Surendra is in the spotlight today for all the wrong reasons. He had fallen down inside there, and I was working in Herald at that time. He had fallen straight into the thing when they were supposed to clean. This was when I left Herald, I think in 2000 and
Almost 15 years back.
16, yeah, in 16 something like that, because here I joined in 17.
Yeah, they went on boat. No?
He had gone in a boat, he had fallen.
Not a boat, it was that cleaning machine.
So till now, nothing is done about that thing, and everybody along those lines, whoever vote, they still put that sewage in there, and it's still a complete stink and a mess. The other day when we had gone to have coffee and we coming,
It's a ready-made dam actually, if you go to see.
Stink, it is a
But not
complete
with
stink.
water.
One. Second thing, parking. Panjimites, locals should have their own parking. All taxis and all should be parked outside the city thing. Have a proper transport service so that people from who are not from Panjim can roam around in bus aram se with their EV buses, electric buses, CNG buses, water buses, hydrogen buses. They can take. It's a triple engine Sarkar. Gadkari can give them hydrogen buses and they can roam around. But Panjimites need our parking place. Third, traffic jams outside casino should be stopped. Touts should be stopped. All these guys, whoever are the taxi drivers, all those like goons who are there from Chimbel and wherever they are, Vasco, everywhere should be
So moving
sent back across the river, whichever.
solution.
They should be sent to Porvorim because they are like locals from Porvorim and wherever. And bus stand guys also should get out. But that area should be clear.
Casinos
These
are-
three things we are need. Casinos, they're not there.
No, they are
We will
not
discuss
moving
in
around,
27.
no matter who comes.
But let the traffic jams be there. Let that parking be there. Let the touts go out of here. Let all these goons get out, thrown out of all these places, including bus stand and all these. These three things. Let's see now. 27-3. हो जाएगा. Otherwise, Badla will happen in 27. This much is for sure.
See, I will only say last one thing is I will congratulate all the candidates whoever have got elected.
See, you have we can come by
and-
barking and we can
and-
come by bike. You have to come by bar. You cannot come by bike.
I
to
will
the
also
office.
I will also congratulate the other people who also lost in fact, but it is their role right now. We should see these people wherever there are issues. We should see all these other candidates who contested elections not sitting at home, just coming up, being and fighting as an opposition in their respective wards. It cannot be happening that like election is over, we are going to be back at our place and another 5 years we are going to come back. That cannot be the solution.
Absolutely. Opposition should be there, whether you win or not win, because next time, after few years, again elections will come up.
Again, this next assembly elections, if you go to see, if you really want to be serious, and whoever were backing Ami Panjekars and candidates, or whoever were fighting, they should be continuously active.
Absolutely.
Continuously active.
Absolutely.
They cannot be just like, we'll come during the time of elections and then we will disappear from it.
Absolutely. Totally agree. So, there are lot of goods and bads. Responsibility here is on the elected, because the type of mandate that is given, people, hopefully Podjekars have the sense to take also their pound of flesh. We want this done from them, and Taligamkars. So this is something. 27-0 now. Rohit, I don't know if he's going to be the mayor. These councillors who are the new councillors, are good councillors are there, very good people, guys like Kabir or Kirti and so many good councillors are there, Jack and all in opposite. They should ensure that Panjim is Panjim what it was from our kids' time, not overrun by like fasinos with very scantily clad people sitting on it and roaming all over the place, parking, taxis all over the place. Let's get Panjim back to its glory, not potholes and all that thing. Because ultimately we've grown up here, we probably die in the same place. I don't know. I don't think we'll go anywhere else. Thanks a lot, Francis. Thanks a lot, Rama. Thanks a lot, Viraj. And we will analyze this a little further. And now the by-elections are coming up. One for sure, second one we don't know. But I don't know. We don't know when this is going to happen. But we will be there as always. I am Glenn Costa, trying to give you an analysis with a little bit of in the lighter vein